If you're one of those people that tries so hard to break bad habits but keeps falling back into them, this video is for you. Every one of us struggles with bad habits, whether it's big ones like drugs or small ones like sleeping in. We all know the difficulty of trying to become a new identity or a new person, right? And sometimes we fall back into these ruts. The hair is dirty, you're ungroomed, you're not brushing your teeth, you're leaving leftovers in this kitchen, the sink has dishes piling up, your chair has all the clothes left done to do laundry, you know, you're sleeping in, you're not getting to work on time, you're late, you're missing meetings, all these different problems that we all go through. And the harder you try to fix it, the worse it comes. You try to quit smoking, and instead of smoking 3 a day, the next time you start smoking 5 a day. Every one of us has this issue, right? And this is something that I want to talk to you about today in this video in detail. This is called self-sabotage, and this is something I've been struggling with a lot. And over the past few weeks and months, I've had big realizations about this, and so I'm fixing this in my life right now because of two different issues. One is posting content to build my business and building my income, and the other side is fixing my body and recovering from an injury and fixing my health. And I'm going to talk to you about how different problems in your life are actually interconnected, and that they all stem from the same place, which is your mind, your mindset. And success is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics, right? Putting this phone here, putting the camera, talking to it, it's not that hard. But what's stopping me, what makes me procrastinate, what makes me delay, what makes me do it improperly, what makes me not want to do it, it all starts in here. So that's what I want to talk to you about. Watch through the entire video, take notes, and dig deeper into the topics that I'm covering today. I'm going to show you some resources and give you some book recommendations as well, because this is really helpful. It's something that I've been struggling with a lot. This is not so much an instructional video as it is a documentation of my current struggles and my processes, because this is something I want to come back to in 5 years, 10 years, because this is really where your entire life stems out from. And what happened was, a couple of years ago I had an injury. I dislocated both my shoulders and I recovered from it kind of. But after that, I never worked out. I was always sitting at the desk. I was eating poorly because I was really broke. I didn't have money for food. I didn't have energy. And I just went into this negative spiral almost. And I ended up back here living in with my family. And I have all the time in the world. I have the opportunity to fix my body. And I'm not doing it. I keep feeling like, man, this is impossible. I'm never going to recover from this. Nothing is going to change. I don't know what to do. And it's been 2 years since the injury happened. And a year into the injury, I finally went to the doctors and everything, like a physio. No, not the first x-ray and scans. Like the second time I went again to a physio. And he told me a list of exercises to do. And they said look, your shoulders somehow, everything is fine. You're okay. And that's another whole other story, but everything is good, and all your problems are coming from the fact that you're just losing all your muscle from bad food and lack of exercise. You sit 10, 12 hours a day, you have nerd neck and all these different issues, right? And that was a year ago when the doctor told me to make those changes, and a year later now, I'm still not doing them. And it's like he's given me this small list of exercises to do, and they're so simple. But I just keep thinking of it, and it's like, it's so impossible, I can't do it, or it's never going to work, and all these defeatist mindsets, right? And I'm here now, and same thing with my business. It's like I finally have all my rent covered, food covered. I have perfect conditions to build my business again, and I'm not doing it. I'm not posting content. I'm not working every day. I should be showing up 12 hours a day, or 5 hours a day, or even 2 hours a day, and posting content and working. But now that I have all these conditions that I'm praying for, which I didn't have in the last season of my life, where I was really struggling to just make ends meet, and I was going hardcore trying to do it, even with the injuries. It's like, it doesn't make sense. I had everything stacked against me. I was working like hell. Now I have everything provided for me, and it's so easy to win, and I'm not doing it. And so this all comes down to my self-image, my inner identity and my beliefs. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about in detail. Because what's happening is that I have to work out so that I get in good shape, so that I can post content and like make money. But then, in order to get in shape, I'm like, I have to, I need a doctor, I need good food, I need high protein. For that, I need money. So I kind of believe like I'm in this loop where in order to get in shape, I need money, and in order to get money, I need to be in shape. But at the end of the day, I have to fix this, right? This is a problem. It's like we have these like impossible situations where we feel helpless. We feel like we are helpless. We feel like there's no room to like improve. There's nothing to do. I can't do it type thing. But actually, there always is. No matter how messed up the situation is, no matter how severe the injury is, no matter how messed up the financial situation is, there is always still a move to make. There is always the best move in that position. There is always still something you can take to take one step forward in a better positive direction, right? And many times what happens is when we fall, like really fall, and we take a big defeat, we reach these rock bottoms, usually like the anger, the pain, and all these issues like propel us out of it. And that's how I've always gotten out of rock bottoms. I've had like multiple rock bottoms in my life, and every time what liberated me from that is just me using my rage, my pain, and giving it into fitness and working out and using my body and health as the first baseline of my life, and something to anchor myself with discipline and accountability and give me self-confidence, which then translates into business, right? But this time with my injury and everything, I couldn't work out, and the only working out I could do was like these lying down on the floor physiotherapy, like very basic, boring, lame exercises that I never liked doing and I don't want to do. And especially because of how difficult it is in my current situation, where it's like I've lost all my strength and my muscle. So it's like I have to start like somebody who had like a car accident and lost all of their muscle, and they're left to, you have to just do like these very weird, like, I don't know if you guys have seen in movies, but like things that these doctors give to like car accident patients, and like physiotherapists provide for all these post-surgery and post-injury situations, right? They're very much about building the tiny muscles in your body and building the movement pattern back. And so I found myself in this place where like I feel like I don't want to do it, I can't do it, I'm feeling helpless, and I keep trying to like figure out like what is wrong with me. I have no motivation like in the past. The perfect situation exists. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I feel depressed and anxious, and I just have no idea where to go. I'm stagnant in the exact same place, and stagnant means everything is getting worse little by little, and somehow I have to move forward. But the two avenues I have to move forward are both like hopeless. Especially like in the last video of mine, if you watch, I started posting content on Instagram, and because I'm like YouTube and Twitter and all these things are too slow, they're not working, so Instagram is what I have to do, and still I'm not showing up daily. I'm falling into perfectionism and procrastination, and then I'm like, man, if my body was good, like again, it's this constant like battle of like ups and downs and like looping. And I think everybody feels this. It's like learned helplessness, defeatism, I can't do it, there's no room, there's no chance, and all these things. But like the truth is, it sucks, the situation is horrible, but you have to make a change. And so I ended up ordering this book, and this is something I want to recommend to you guys. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics, right? And I'm going to talk to you about the main point in this, but I was watching these videos from like Tony Robbins, and he said this thing. It's like, this is the holy grail of self-improvement or whatever he calls it, and this is what is the issue. It's like you need belief. You need a certain amount of belief before you feel like you can do something, right? So you have some level of belief. Like for example, you believe you can buy a chocolate. You can, right? So you believe I have the money, I can go and buy the chocolate. So then you go and take the action to buy the chocolate. This is action. Belief leads to action, and belief is a prerequisite, is a requirement to take action. Now, if you have action, you take, you get a result. So I go to buy the chocolate, I get the chocolate, right? Now, once I get the chocolate, I'm kind of like satisfied with it, right? Now I have a reaction to that. It's like, oh, I wanted a chocolate, I went and bought a chocolate, and maybe you eat the chocolate and you're like, oh, this is good. So there's a reaction there. And once you have the reaction, if it's a positive reaction, it's like, I bought the chocolate, I ate it, it was good. You feel like you have more, what happens is you have more belief because you feel like I did what I wanted and what I did was good, it affected me positively, so now I can get better. So the same thing applies if you go to the gym. It's like you believe you can go to the gym and get better. So you go, you take action, and the action gives a result. Your body starts improving a little bit, and then you're like, oh, I look good, I feel good, I'm going to have more belief. And that's what, like, automatically it happens, and that loop comes. But the same thing applies negatively. If you don't believe you can do anything, you will never take action if you don't have that belief, right? And so a lot of people are stuck like this. I can never do it. I can't do it. It'll never work for me. All of those, this defeated, helplessness, I can't do it, it's impossible, it's never gonna happen type stuff, is this, it's a lack of this belief here. So when you don't have this, you will never take action. If you have big belief, it's like, I can be Olympic champion, you're going to take hell lot of action because you're going to believe you're going to be an Olympic champion, right? So a lot of belief creates a lot of action, which then creates a lot of results, which then creates a lot of reaction, positive, and that creates more belief. And so it's either a positive loop or it's a negative loop or no loop at all. And like, what happened with my injury is, after like so many years of trial and errors and everything, this time I'm like, bro, I can never get in shape. I'm always, no matter what happens, I keep coming back to skinny fat. Doesn't matter if I was obese, I'll end up skinny fat. If it doesn't matter if I was injured, I'll end up skinny fat. It doesn't matter if I was sick, I'll end up skinny fat. And so skinny fat became like my belief of who I am. And I believed it was impossible to escape. I believed my injury was so bad that it's impossible to escape. I believe my situation is unfixable, uncurable, all these things, right? And the same thing in business. It's like God took me, I believe God like showed me like a path that's really good for me, which is posting organic content on Instagram, because then I get free sales without advertising, right? And that's more profit for me. So it's like the best of like business. But to do it, it's so hard, and I have no like again mental like belief, and I also have like excuses that my physical situation is not bad. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the belief. I don't believe like the organic content can work for me, or that I can make it work. So I don't take action, and so I don't have result and I don't have reaction. When I first started my journey, when most entrepreneurs first start the journey, you develop a vision, you have a dream, like this crazy dream or this belief that like, hey, I can become a millionaire, I can retire my parents, I can like get this car, or I can get this house, or I can get on this award or whatever, right? There's that belief, and that's what delusion is, having a big, big vision for your life, so big that it propels you to take big action. That's what Michael Phelps' coach Bob Bowman said about Michael Phelps. He had the vision to become an Olympic champion, not just an Olympic champion, the greatest Olympic champion of all time. And so he had that massive belief that propelled him to take massive action, which then got massive results and then massive reaction, which is what you call self-talk, like how you react to something. So perfectionism is negative self-talk. What happens is you believe you need to be perfect, so you take actions trying to make everything perfect. The result is it's never actually perfect because perfection doesn't exist. And the reaction becomes like, oh, I suck, I shouldn't do it. But then what happens is like, if I try harder, you believe if you try harder, if you try to make it more perfect, you'll make it more perfect. And so this thing is like everything. So this is apparently inside one of his books called Awaken the Giant Within, and that pretty much explains the entirety of like what this situation is, this defeated, helpless, stuck, I can't do anything type thing. And this is where you feel like you are the victim of your life instead of being the creator. You feel like you are a victim of your circumstances instead of being like the responsible and taking your own power. And so I bought this book also because I had like read it a long time ago and I never applied. Like what happened was over the past 2 years since the injury, it's like the universe, God, whatever has been trying to teach me that I am the one creating my reality with my thoughts, my words, and my actions, my emotions, and everything. And so there's this like paradigm of like there's this ladder of reality creation, which is like thoughts, emotions, actions, belief, and identity. And identity just means self-image or self-concept, and that's like the root. It's who you think you are inside. If you closed your eyes and you played a movie of who you think you are, you will see a version that is the actual you. Right now, I'm skinny fat because in my mind, I believe I'm skinny fat. So every time I try to go to the gym and work out and like eat right and try to get away from that self image on the inside, I'll keep moving. I'll have a whiplash. I'll fall back to the same pattern because my identity is what I have to stick to. It's who I am, who I believe I am. And so, whatever you do in life, you will never outgrow your self image because as soon as you start getting better, something will happen in your environment or in your life, or you will do it to bring you back here. This is why when people consistently make like an income of a certain amount, let's say $5,000 per month, and then they suddenly start making like 10K, they will start self-sabotaging. They'll go on holiday, they'll spend the money away, they'll start drinking or something or the other, or they'll start coasting, which is what I'm doing. I believe I'm a certain type of person. I'm a broke entrepreneur trying to get rich. That's my belief. And because of that, I always have to be trying to get rich and not getting rich. I have to be always broke. I have to always be aspiring to be rich while being broke instead of actually being a rich entrepreneur. And I watched another video by a guy called Peter Kell, and you guys can check out that video also. I'll tag both videos in the links, the Tony Robbins video and the Peter Kell video. Watch them. And I also read a ton of books watching all these videos, in like The Magic of Believing by Claude M. Bristol, and Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh, and Psycho-Cybernetics, and all these books, right? And Joe Dispenza, I think Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And I read all these books and I'm like, why is my life not changing? Why is my life not changing? And the reason is because I wasn't applying this information. And it comes down to this again. In this book also, he talks about all this information about the defeatist mentality, which is what I was going through with my body, and the coasting. It's like seeing the finish line right at the end and not taking action to go any further, which is what I'm doing in my business. So all of this comes down to the self-image of who I believe I am, right? It's like a ladder: thought, emotion, action, beliefs, and self-image. If you change your thoughts, you will change your emotions and you'll change your actions. And that belief is a repeated thought, right? And self-image, though, identity is that clip. It's like a movie inside your mind. If you change the self-image, all the beliefs that come with it, all the actions you take from it, all the behaviors, all the emotions, all the thoughts automatically get changed. It's like if you change the highest level, anything below it will change. If you change the lowest level, it might bleed into all the others, but it will take a long time and it won't really like bring lasting change. And the only way to really bring lasting change is changing the self-image and maybe beliefs. But again, I would say it's totally almost all self-image or self-concept, identity. People use different like terms for the same thing, and it's this thing. And in order to change this, there's only two methods. The first one, which is again 95% of it, is visualization, mental rehearsal, using your imagination, all of these different terms. And so when I, over the past 2 years, have been like watching all these YouTube videos and reading all these books, it would just be this information that I'm trying to extract, but it wouldn't register in my brain. Like I knew like this is important, I know I have to do this, I know it's super um, like key and stuff, but I'll meditate, I'll do some affirmations on some days, I'll visualize some days at night, and it's not consistent. And that's the thing, it's like if your self-image is literally dictating everything in your life, every day we wake up and we go back to default, our default self-image, our default identity, and 95% of your entire day comes from this. 99% of human beings don't even know that this self-image thing exists. They're going through their entire life living by the same identity of who they are. No matter what changes they try to make, they'll come back to it, whether it's income, romantic habits, choices in people, sleep habits, sex habits, food habits, whatever. How you think about money, how you think about freedom, how you think about the world, these are all linked. And this thing, it's just like all these guys are talking about just applying that. There's one more book, it's like Release Your Brakes by Jim Newman. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which book you read, as long as you apply it. Like that's the big thing. It's like I've now realized, like I keep trying to make these perfect visualizations or like perfect affirmations, but it doesn't matter whether my list of affirmations is perfect. As long as I get one affirmation ingrained into my brain, it will change my life. I remember like on my Delusion like website, on my brand's website, my origin story has one affirmation, because 3 years ago when I was literally in this room, right after I had lost everything, I had read Patrick B. David's one of his smaller books. I think it was like Life of an Entrepreneur 90 Days or something like that. And in that I saw a quote, it's like, I am not what happened to me, I am who I choose to become. And it's a quote by Carl Jung. And I kept repeating it hundreds of times. And it was literally in this freaking room. And it was 3 years ago, 2022, right after I had lost everything. And actually, maybe it could have been early 2023 also, like when I was finally rebuilding my life. When I decided to get back in the game after losing everything. Which is so weird, like serendipitous, because that's exactly how it is right now. Like, I've been here like almost 8 months. And when I came here, it's like, again, it was like the biggest defeat of my life. Injury, lost independence, lost my home, like the flat. My plan to go to the UAE got cancelled. My body's fucked, my business is fucked, like everything is wrecked, And now again, I'm rebuilding myself, but this time I can do it for like permanently for the rest of my life. And that's why I'm making this video also, because I can come back to it in the future and you guys can all do it. And it's the visualization. You have to do it before you go to sleep at night, and in the morning when you wake up. That's when your brain is in this state called theta state, where it's like equivalent to hypnosis almost, where your active brain is off and like your internal brain is kind of like ready to receive. And so whatever ideas you plant into it at that time becomes like the new reality. And if you visualize at night and in the morning, these changes happen. So this is like really annoying, because it sounds so simple, and that's why I've just been like neglecting it. It's weird because I'm finding all this information in year 6, right? But even in 2019, 2018, 2020, 5, 6, 7 years ago, when I was starting my journey, Dan Pena, one of the business coaches on YouTube, he used to always talk about visualization, imagination, and using this stuff. Even I had read other books like Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and all these guys talk about it. But I always neglected it. I always like saw it and I'm like, whatever. And that's my ego, my arrogance, rejecting it. And this is the thing which keeps 99% of people stuck. It's their ego, it's their arrogance, it's their unwillingness to look into new avenues, their unwillingness to look into things that they don't know, that seem so simple and stupid, but people are talking about. Like, I respected like so many guys with so many results, right? And they'll give this advice, you'll hear it, and then you won't do it. Like Patrick B. David used to talk about like reading books, but I wouldn't do it. The reason why I didn't do it actually was not just like this. When you say ego and arrogance, when I say ego and arrogance, you think of the guy that's like bragging about money and like, like being grandiose, but it's not really that. It's like this unwillingness to receive, and it's this like unwillingness to admit internally that like I don't know. And it comes from like parental programming, it's unconscious. And there's another book that talks about it. It's called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T Harv Eker. And it also talks about this. And again, it's like all these books talk about like changing your inner programming. And there's like this big trend online now where like everybody's talking about subconscious mind and visualization and imagination. And I didn't hear about any of this stuff early in the journey, and even when I did, it was like some few sources, and I just like rejected all of it. And that's the thing, it's like when you are ready, the lessons start coming for you. And when you're not ready, the lessons don't come. But this stage in your life, around like year 3, is when you kind of start understanding how important this is, and around year 5, 6, and it can be stages, it doesn't have to be years. It can, for me, what's happening in year 5 and 6 can happen for you in year 2 and 3 if you're more humble than me. And so that's the point. It's like compress your time frames, and if you use visualization and imagination, you can like open up everything in your life. And I say this and I'm still arrogant because I'm not like applying this like religiously, like every day write down the affirmations, every day speak out the affirmations, every day visualize it. And if you do it over a course of like 6 months or whatever, the change will come. And it's not like you do it one time and the change stays, right? I like quit smoking using, or even the book Atomic Habits, it talks about this, using identity to change bad habits. I quit smoking using that 2 years ago, but then this year, like past like couple of weeks, actually, I've been smoking again because there's nothing to do here, and I kind of started falling back into my old identity with like jerking off to porn, eating junk food, sleeping in, waking up late, smoking cigarette, and like this like degenerate lifestyle. But that degenerate lifestyle came again because it is who I believe I am deep inside. I believe I am a lazy person. I am. And these I am statements, whenever you say something is like I am, it's like telling your brain that's exactly who you are. I am is the most powerful words like in English. It is literally like some kind of divine, like God like code. That's why in the Bible, God in the Bible says like I am that I am, and that's like a code. It's like that's my name. And so you are created as a man in the image of God, and to recognize that within you, your ability to create your own reality, to become the creator of your life, is to recognize the power of yourself, your I am. I am the creator of my reality. I am not a lazy person, I am a disciplined person. And the brain doesn't register knots. So instead of saying I am not a lazy person, just say I am an active person, I am a disciplined person. And you keep saying these things again and again and again and again, and it becomes a part of your reality. So that's it. And I know I've been going off and trying to just like overload you with information, and I hope it makes sense to you, because this is what I've been struggling with like crazy, bro. Like I've not been able to post content at all. I'm supposed to be filming Instagram videos today, and this video of me recording YouTube is like procrastination actually, because I'm using it as like a way to get my brain flowing and my thoughts flowing and to get in comfort of speaking. But yeah, it's weird. Like it's really hard to like get the scripts going and make the content, but it doesn't matter, right? Like it's hard. I have to do it. And so at night nowadays, I visualize myself like in front of the camera, like looking at the camera, keeping it straight and talking, and making these tiny changes so that I can like get moving. So the past 3 days also, like I've been visualizing myself like doing the physio exercises, and somehow I just end up doing them. Like today I didn't do it, but yesterday, day before, like 3 days in a row I did it. And so it's like when you see yourself doing it in your mind, if you keep seeing yourself doing it in your mind, what's happening is you're like planting this belief. Like, I wasn't doing any exercise because I was like, I can't do it, it's impossible, it'll never work for me. And the belief was not there. But when you keep visualizing it and mentally rehearsing it, you're firing these neurons in your brain. And this is what Joe Dispenza also talks about. You're creating that belief. Imagine it's like a photo there, it's not there in the first, you do the visualization like 10 times, you start seeing like bits and bits of that photo, it's like starting to come alive. The photo comes, and you do it like hundreds of times. Then the belief is actually planted when the full photo comes. And that photo leads to this, and it becomes a movie. So that's it. Visualize like crazy. Just see clearly what you want to be done. Read these books, Psycho-Cybernetics and Release Your Brakes by Jim Newman, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, The Magic of Believing, and I'm gonna buy The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy also, and hopefully that also like gets the same idea into my head, because man, this is like some kind of like super like shortcut to success, and it's like this super like power that people really don't use and people really don't understand. And this is the key secret behind the success of all of the elite best performers: Conor McGregor, John Jones, or Michael Phelps. I'm pretty sure like Elon Musk, Iman Ghazi, who I think is like the Elon Musk of my generation, he talks about this. All these guys are hardcore into this. So that's why I'm like, bro, if the guys who are doing this game better than you are doing all of this, you need to be humble and do it. So that's it. Hopefully this helps, and I'm 100% sure like me doing this over the next like 1 to like 3 months is gonna like get me back in my shape. Like my body is gonna be healed because I literally like work out to heal it. But it's also like the mind, how I believe I am changes with it. It's gonna help me like post content and actually get results. It's not like you can't just post content while believing that your content sucks. You have to post content while believing that your content is amazing, that people are watching it and people are loving it. When you believe that, reality responds to it. So it's hard to explain this. There are so many different concepts and like sources and all these things. And I'm new to this scripting thing and talking to YouTube. That's why I like documenting, because it's like I'm just talking about my struggles. Although it's not really useful for other people right now, I'm hoping that once I am like a mega success, 5-6 years or whenever it happens, people will want to study me and see my videos, and that time this stuff will like make sense and it will click. So that's it for this video. I'm fixing my self-sabotage in like 6 years to get to this point, but the darkest fights you have in your life are against yourself. Like I've been feeling so hopeless the past like few months, because I just feel like I'm a victim of myself. Like I can't even conquer myself, and that's why Alexander the Great has this saying. It's like the greatest like ability is to conquer yourself, and Plato and all these guys talk about it, because that really is it. When you feel like you can do whatever you want if you set your mind to it, and that you can conquer yourself. Like if you want to wake up at this time, you wake up at this time. If you want to stop something, you stop something. If you can have that iron will, that belief that anything you do can be done, anything you want can be achieved, like that's the biggest life. So conquer yourself, and this is how you do it. And over the next 3-4 months, again, I'm going to put out other videos. So that's it. Take care. Peace.